Welcome to the Brent Gove podcast with co-host Eric Lofholm. We are building 1 million agents in 100 countries in 10 years. Now, here's your host, Brent Gove.
And welcome to the big show. I'm Brent Gove, and I have my co-host today, Eric Lofholm. Eric, how are you?
Hey, Brent, I'm doing great, and we have an amazing guest. I'm so excited to hear from him and learn from him today.
Well, you know what's great is today is a major holiday. It's Martin Luther King Day. We had a new president take office today. It's National I Have a Dream Day, and I couldn't be more excited. Martin Luther King is one of my favorite heroes. What an amazing man. And of course, our guest today is kind of like that. He's a 1%er in the world of sales. He's a 1%er in the area of human souls and human beings and human kindness. And so let's get into this. You ready to go, Eric?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So our guest today is Mr. Eric Golden. I've known Eric for about 5 years now. 5 years now. I saw him hosting an event in Dallas, and he spoke there, and I was blown away. And of course, after getting to know Eric, he is upper probably 0.1% of what he has achieved in his life. He's been in sales for decades. He's been doing stuff like this for decades. He is an absolute superstar, Eric Golden. So, Eric Golden, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. We're good to have you on.
Thanks, buddy. It's nice to be here. I'm honored, man. Your reputation precedes you. I didn't know you were in the crowd, and when I found out you were, then it got me nervous. I've been doing it for decades. When I knew Brent Gove was there, I got nervous.
I have a hard time thinking you were nervous. This guy's a pro. It's like Tiger Woods saying he was nervous because I was in the crowd. That is funny, but I will take that as a compliment. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to let Eric Lofholm explain more of what Eric Golden's all about. But I want to tell you this. He runs an organization and has helped recruit it and help build a 3,000 person sales organization at EXP, agents and brokers who sell real estate, and creates a lot of revenue share. He's super successful. My good friend Eric Golden has come up with a 12-week program on agent attractions. Everyone's always asking me, where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go for coaching? And there's lots of things they could do, but I don't really know of a 12-week step-by-step program that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I'm personally very excited about that. Now, before we tell you about the program, I want to tell you about the bottom line. I'm kind of a bottom line guy. Why should you think about being a part of this 12-week program that's specifically designed just for our team? We're gonna do it here, and then we're gonna roll it out on a bigger level. But we're gonna start with you, if you're hearing my voice. Now, real quick, why you might want to do this. You know, we all have the short game, making money from real estate, making $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $500,000 a year, even $1 million a year. That's a short game, because guess what? Rates go up really high next year. That million will drop to 250 if you're lucky. So you want to play the long game in recruiting, attracting agents, building a revenue share sales organization is where it's at. Coldwell Banker figured that out 100 years ago. They recruited agents. Dave Liniger from Remax figured that out in the 70s. He recruited agent. In the 80s, Keller Williams, two guys that were doing open houses and showing property and taking listings like the rest of us, figured out. And they recruited agents and built Keller Williams, Sotheby's, Christie's, the agency. This is how you grow big time. Even Ryan Serhant from New York, he's building a sales organization. It's no longer just him huffing multi-million-dollar pads in Manhattan. So here's the deal. You know, we have expectations, and Eric was telling me minimum expectation if you do this, income year 1, 2, 3. Just our expectations, by no means a guarantee. But I was always like, what's the maximum? And of course, the maximum is do a lot more, make a lot more. But what are the minimum expectations you see for this program, Eric?
Well, people that follow the 7 actual steps to build an agent attraction and a revenue share group. In the first year, by the end of the first year, if you just do basically what we ask you to do, you'll have a $28,000 residual going into the next year. Year 2, you'll have a $47,000 residual. In year 3, $172,000 residual. Again, whether you've attempted to build rev share before, whether you've been trying and doing it really well and you just want that secret sauce to get better, or you've been trying and it hasn't worked for you, it's designed for any of those 3 demographics.
I love it. And some of you are like, 28,000, that's nothing. I make that with one home sale. What do you make outside of real estate cash flow? Do you have 28,000, a couple thousand a month flowing in? And then next year you add to that, it goes from 28 to maybe 48. That's 4,000 a month flowing in. Cash flow is way better than income, trading time for dollars and earning income on time. And of course, the third year, 178, because it compounds. I'll give you an example. My first year at EXP, I made $286,000 my first year because I did a lot more. I didn't do the basics. I went all in and went berserk. I love people. I had fun. The next year went from 286. Hey, that's pretty good. It went from 1,293,000. I made almost 1.3 million the third year because it compounded. That's why it's possible to have these 3 years and up year 3 at 178. Again, none of these are guarantees. We want to cover that, but these are our minimum expectations if you do the basics. Again, if you're a high achiever and you want to do a lot more than the basics, you can expect a lot more. I certainly did, and it was. So, Eric Lofholm, I want to give this back over to you, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I know that Eric has this great 12-week program. He's teaching 7 steps to agent attraction. And today on the podcast, he's going to cover 7 thoughts to master your mindset for agent attraction. So, Eric, I'm going to turn the call over to you, and I'd love to have you share with us those 7 thoughts to master your mindset for agent attraction.
I love
Appreciate it and happy to do so. And so, Brent, as we were talking about it originally, we were talking about the fact what makes this program different. And one of the things that makes this program different, because there are people that want to lead you to a concept of building a revenue share group. What I've found here at EXP for about 6.5 years now, is that if it starts with what's between your ears. It starts with the way you think about recruiting or agent attraction. And so what I thought today, the best thing I could do over the next just few minutes is possibly do what we call a 2-millimeter shift. If I can get you to think a little differently about what we do, because everything is about perception. It's the lens at which you see everything. And right now, many people, if you've been struggling with agent attraction or you're daunting, it's like, oh my God, how do I do it? You're in a situation where that lens needs to be cleaned off. Some people, like Brent said, they're looking for a lot more income than the minimum expectations we talked about. Well, again, even in your case, Michael Jordan had a coach. So with that said, let me dive right into what I believe people should be thinking about when they're thinking about agent attraction. Here's the problem. Problem is, I'm going to give you some information right now. And if you've been ever in a position where you've attracted or recruited people in any walk of life, you have a preconceived notion coming into today. Bottom line is, I read a book just a few weeks ago, and I want to deliver to you a thought that came right out of that book. Now, I've been teaching this method for over 35 years. It's worked in every company I've ever taught agent attraction or any type of attraction. But I finally came up with a thought. The name of the book was How to Break Up with Your Phone. And in that book, by the way, I think it's awesome. And if you don't think you have a phone problem, ask your spouse or significant other. They will tell you the truth.
So I love that name, How to Break Up with Your Phone. Beautiful. Keep going. What a great name.
One of the things I learned from that book, and I apply it here, and I hope you apply it here, is almost every relationship you have in your life, with anything from a phone to a person, food, anything at all, a sports team, you didn't design that relationship. It evolved over time. And so right now, you have a perception and a relationship with agent attraction. So one of the things I'll do in the course, in fact, I'll do this heavy in the first 2 weeks, is similar to the military. They want to break you down from what you think so they can create what you should be thinking for the benefit of being in the military. Now, this isn't going to be a militaristic situation. I'm not going to do drills with you in that way. But we are going to talk through sessions on how you think about agent attraction, because we truly have to clean some things out, some perceptions that you have. So imagine having a blank slate, Men in Black. I put the pen in front of you and you stare into the pen, and within seconds, you know nothing of agent attraction. And the only thing you learn at this point is what you design of the way you want to be thinking. So here's the 7 thoughts. Number 1. Everybody has a reason to build agent attraction, a revenue share group. If we don't identify that reason, as Simon Sinek said, start with why. A great short 5-minute video, jump on YouTube and watch it. But if you don't know why you're going to reach out to another agent and you don't give it time to work, because again, you could go out and build your transaction. You go find another buyer, find another seller. You can make more money in one transaction than potentially you can make an agent attraction in the first year, not necessarily second year and third year. So we have to battle that with something we call the dream. We've all heard this statement: if the dream's big enough, the facts don't count. Well, it does count when you look at the clock and you look at your bank account. And so the bottom line is, number one, dream and belief creates the spark. The only way this is going to work is if you consistently reach out to agents over listen to what I'm about to say, short period of time, until that role isn't yours alone. It's also the people within your organization. I'm going to recommend to make daily phone calls. It'll take about 15 minutes a day. That's all you'll focus on, 15 minutes a day. Now, Brent didn't do it that way. Brent said, Friday afternoons, that's my time. I don't care how you do it. I'm just going to give you a structure that works. So dream and belief creates what we call the spark or urgency. You ever watch Survivor? What happens is you see those people that want to build a fire, they hit the stones, hit the stones, hit the stones, hit the stones until the spark comes out. And once that happens, excitement begins. So understand this. If you're not doing the work right now, it's most likely a dream or belief problem. We will handle that. Number two, if you understand that you're looking for the person that's looking for you, NAR says 1 out of 3 agents are going to make a move this year. We know they're going to make a move. We know people right now, agents that got in an argument with their broker, got in an argument with Zillow Leads, got in an argument with somebody, and they're looking for a solution. So we know that timing is important. But until you realize that you're looking for the agent who's looking for you, another way to think about it would be, if they aren't open, they aren't looking. And if you care whether they're looking, you probably have a dream or belief problem. See, let me change that just a slight bit. How about this? If they're not open, how about I'm not looking for them? See, that's a complete shift of the way you would need to think in order to do this consistently.
So
if
good.
They're not open, I'm not looking for them. It's a very simple change,
Love
but
it.
until you grasp it, what was that, Brent?
I love it.
Yeah. Until you grasp that, Brent, there is no change. Number 3, we've all heard you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Forget about the fact that you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. By the way, number 1 reason people fail at agent attraction is they won't do it long enough. And the reason they don't do it long enough is because they keep trying to talk people into being open. Imagine you're just looking for the ones that are open. So here's the point. Number 3, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Another way to think about it is your timing is more important than your invite. If you don't believe it, you have a dream or belief problem. Number 4, many of us, we've done something with our lives. We'd like to think that we are credible. Some people don't feel credible. In any case, if you're concerned about how you're coming across to another person or what they may be thinking of you, because it's paralyzing to most. If you have these concerns,
that's so good.
You probably have a dream or belief problem.
So good. Keep going.
Number 5, when you work the numbers, I'm so sick and tired of hearing this. When you work the numbers will work. So let me give it to you in a way that's different. What I'd like you to do is forget about that phrase. The numbers always work. Now, I want to say this. When it comes to agent attraction, it's different than what Brent teaches, because I listen to him all the time about consistency. Okay? But I want you to think about consistency differently. Number 5, when you work the numbers will work. Think about it this way. Consistency and volume make up for almost anything and everything. As they said in the Hunger Games, put the numbers forever in your favor. If you don't believe that just consistently doing the work over time will account for anything, a lack of credibility, a lack of posture. If you don't believe that over time it will work, you probably have a dream or a belief problem.
Oh my gosh, so good. I'm writing down every one of these. This is great. Keep going. You're doing good.
I only got 2 more, dude. 6. Ask yourself this. This is my favorite for those of you that have been playing the game for a while. For those of you that keep thinking about, oh my gosh, I could have a rev share group. And it doesn't necessarily have to be what Brent's is. I mean, in the organization that I lead right now, we've got people making anything from a few dollars a month to $50,000, $75,000, $85,000 a month. And they're all listening to the exact same thing you're about to hear. Ask yourself this. See, success is easy. Success really is easy. What do I want out of my life? Where am I today? What's one step in that direction? And as long as you have enough days to get there, you'll win. So here's number 6. Ask yourself this. What task today will move me one step closer to my dream or my goal in agent attraction? What's the one step, the one thing? I'm going to teach you in this course that we're going to use an acronym called LISA. We're going to teach you how to make a list, invite, show the opportunity, and answer questions. LISA, list, invite, show, answer. But if you know what task you're supposed to do today and you don't do it, you have a dream or belief problem.
I love it. Hey, quick. I wrote Lisa. List, invite. S again.
Linvite, list, invite, show, answer.
Answer. Got it.
And number 7. If I'm known for anything within the training world, the one thing that's always first for people that happen to be following what I do over the years is this statement. It's my favorite to say because it's my favorite to feel. The minute I say it, it's sort of like my son in 2nd grade when he was having trouble in school. We finally brought him into a psychologist, a child psychologist, to figure out what's going on. He did well in school, but he always felt like he was struggling to do what everybody else was doing. And the psychologist said to us, which we then said to him, his name's Matt, just graduated, just retired, 20-year Marine, super proud of him, now doing a high-level intelligence situation with Cisco. Unbelievable story, this kid. Super proud of him. I said to him, Matt, I remember driving home from school one day. I said, Matt, the psychologist got back to me, and here's what they said. You're smarter than almost any other kid that in your class, but you do think differently than they do. It's harder for you to think through the systems, but as long as you think through them, you're going to flourish. And I'm getting goosebumps right now because I remember looking at him and seeing that weight lift off of his frame. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to have a weight lift off your frame right now. Number 7, in closing here. You're working too hard because you're thinking too much. Repeat that. You're working too hard because you're thinking too much. Once you know what you want out of this, and we will spend the first week in training figuring that out together. And once you do that, and once you know your strategy to get it, and we're going to spend the 2nd week in our class doing that. And then we'll take a short break for a week so you can get to Cabo and just suck in the riches of the best. And we're going to come back and then get busy. So again, once you know what you want out of this, and once you have a strategy that you believe in, any additional thinking will create doubt. And 1% doubt, and you're out. I'm going to teach you in those 12 weeks how to make roughly 5 calls a day before you eat the first bite of lunch. I was on a training today, training the group that I lead here, and one of the largest income earners from RevShare jumped on as I was talking about this concept. I didn't talk all of them. I talked about this one as one of them. And he said, it's crazy, Eric, I can't tell you the number of days that I was going to make my calls, but then I went to go eat lunch. And I said, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't eat lunch now. I got to make my calls. And he would
Yeah.
stop and make 5 minutes or 10 minutes of phone calls, which is all I'm going to teach you to do. I'll teach you who to call, what to say, how to respond, and how to think about everything we're doing by not having to think about everything you're doing. Look, it's a brand new year. And you don't build a business. You build habits. The habits build the business. What I want to talk to you about in those 12 weeks is creating the habits so you don't have to think about it anymore. You'll know at the end of less than 12 weeks that you'll be able to build a minimum $172,000 a year revenue share. You'll know who to talk to, how to talk to them, and you'll know how to think about it every step along the way. Brent, back to you.
Big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, like I make way more than that if you go bust your fanny, but to have 172,000 coming in, that it's no longer about you. Those we built an organization. They have their own goals, dreams, and visions. And as they hit their goals, that 172 goes to 192 to 292 to 3. I've seen it happen again and again. This was so good. Real quick, a couple things I wrote down. Eric, I'd love to get your thoughts, but you kept saying you might have a dream and a belief program, right? It reminds me of that comedian who says you might be a redneck. You know, if you mow your lawn and you find a car in the front yard, you might be a redneck. If someone asks your name and you look at your belt buckle for a quick reminder, you might be a redneck. I love this. It was funny to me. You might have a dream or belief program. So I guess in this 12 weeks, you're going to help them overcome and figure out what their dream is and how to fix that dream and belief problem, I'm assuming. Correct, Eric?
Well, correct. I'm a big believer that I'm not there ready to make your calls. I'm not in your brain. I'm not listening to your calls, and I only can help you when you give me that information. So we will have even though we'll have a weekly kind of training, we're going to have a consistent, almost daily for those that want it or need it, able to interact. Because I know this, and you'll believe this within the first 2 weeks of this training, you'll believe that the only thing stopping you is your belief.
That's good.
Okay, and so I say you might have a dream, like Foxworthy says, you might be a redneck. He knows you're a redneck, and I know you have a belief problem, but I don't know you well enough to say to you that that's your issue. I can just promise you that's what it is.
Yeah, that's so good. So here's the deal. I've known Eric. He's a famous guy. He's a platform speaker. He's spoken in front of 10,000 people, 30,000 people. I think the largest group you've ever addressed, I believe, was over 50,000. Is that correct?
I actually met my wife back in 1996. I was speaking in Rio de Janeiro for 80,000 people.
80,000. So he's kind of a big deal, you guys. And you should definitely consider doing this. Real quick, before we kind of tell you what your next step is, if you want to be a part of this or get a hold of Eric and ask him more questions about we're going to do a March 1st launch. We're going to take the week of Cabo off because everyone's going to Cabo, but a March 1st launch. And if you think, I want to know more, I think I want to do this, or I have questions, we're going to show you how to get a hold of Eric. But before that, Eric Lofholm, my co-host. Eric, what are some of your thoughts? You are one of the top Tony Robbins sales trainers in the nation, if not number one at one point. What are some of your thoughts about what Eric was sharing?
Well, I think it addresses an area that a lot of the EXP agents want support in. They got involved because they want to do agent attraction, but maybe they've been focused on production. So here's an opportunity to get professionally trained, to learn from an expert, to become a part of a community, to really work in an area where they're wanting to grow. So I think it's fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. I couldn't agree more. I had a woman call me yesterday. She said, Brent, I really want to learn agent attraction. How do I, do you have a class? Do you have some way I can get it done? She sells like 40 million a year. She is successful. She goes, but I don't know how to talk to agents. I've never done this. And so I said, it's just like anything you ever focus on, you're going to figure it out. And boy, your timing couldn't be better. We have a 12-week class coming out March 1st, and you're going to get rolled, and it's going to change your life. She's like, I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in. But of course, that's who she is. So Eric, how do people get a hold of you if they have questions and want to ask, or they go, hey, I want to get going March 1st. How do they reach you?
Yeah, two things, actually three things that's closing for that. Thank you for asking. And again, thanks for the opportunity today to share what I love to do. I am going to say this for those of you that are transaction oriented, because I know that a lot of times, Brent's people are selling crap ton of real estate. The statement I hear all the time is, I just don't have any time. I need transactions. If you think you don't have time to do what I'm about to teach you,
Yeah.
you may have a dream or belief problem. Now, again, we're only going to handle dream and belief first 2 weeks. That's the boot camp. Then we're going to get into doing the work for the next 10. So the best way to get a hold of me, Brent, right now, and we do have this is not a statement to get you to act right away. I'm fully honest from stage. I'm always that kind of person. I'm completely transparent. Brent and I have agreed to a number, a smallish number for the size group that he has. So we've agreed that we're going to cap it at a certain number so we can take them through this course. I want to be able to interact more intimately. So I want this to be a smaller group than I would normally train. Okay. And so I will only say this. I trained on Monday. There were about 78 people in the training that I was doing. And the group that Brent and I agreed to is smaller than that. So I want you to know, grab a spot, best way, or ask a question, is to either workplace chat me, Eric, E-R-I-C, Golden, Golden. I'm out of the Orlando, Florida area. And that's one way. The other way is call me. Personal cell. I'm on the East Coast. Some people feel one of the problems with people that want to build a rev share group but don't is they're afraid if they call someone they may be interrupting them. So I'm going to tell all of you, if you're ever worried about that, time or day, just text me first. I'll call you back. Okay? 352-267-5276. Okay, Eric Golden, or 352-267-5276.
I'm going to do one more. Grab your cell phone right now because I know you guys I don't have a piece of paper. I don't have a pen. If you grab your cell phone and turn on like you're going to call him, just punch this, open up like you're going to call him right now. Put this in 352-267-5276 and hit send. And then hang up, but it'll be trapped in your call history. And that way you have the number and then save his name, Eric Golden, and send him a text when you have some more time or do it now. Tony Robbins says two things. Well, he says a lot of things, but one, 80% of the chokehold in your business is your personal psychology. What did Eric talk about? You may have a dream or a belief problem. Both those is your personal psychology. He's right in there with my boy, Tony Robbins. And number two, oh, so funny. I forgot number two, but I'm sure it was profound and amazing. But what, Eric?
I think, we talked about this. I think the number two one, it's funny you say that. 1996, the day I was on that stage and I met my wife, the act before me, or the person before me, was Julio Iglesias, and the one following me was to Anthony Robbins. It's really interesting that you brought that up. And you and I interacted on this term the other day when we were speaking. Tony Robbins' favorite thing when it comes to what people do is progress. Okay, progress creates happiness. What my job is with each and every one of you, and I take it a personal responsibility. Everybody matters to me. Okay, all you dead rabbits on the side of the road that have tried things in the past, but truly will commit to doing things if you believe you can and you believe you could. Understand this, that struggle with hesitating at the end of the cliff, right there, looking at the water, knowing you want to jump. I want you to know that for 12 weeks, you will not have to jump alone.
Nice. I love it. And he also says progress before perfection. Just start. We're going to figure it out. But I remembered what my second point was. He goes, take immediate action. Just like, this is not a big deal. This isn't $50,000. It's not $500,000. It's not $5 million. It's $500 for the month of March, $500 for April, $500 for May. And I don't receive one penny, not one dime, anything. This is for you. It's not for me. I was the guy who said yes to myself, and I would invest the money in coaching. It's not for the year either. It's a 12-week beginning, middle, and end. It's got a start and a finish line. And take the plunge, do it. Reach out to Eric, his cell phone again, 352-267-5276. Eric, it was amazing having you on the show with myself and my amazing co-host, Eric Lofholm. You're an incredible guy. I hope everyone listening takes the time to do this 12-week course to get on with their life and their goals and dreams and make a better family and a better future. Eric Lofholm, any final things you want to say to Eric Golden here?
Yeah, I thought the content was fantastic. And like I always end our calls with, please share this with your organization. Please share the podcast with your team so they can benefit from this great information and this opportunity to work with somebody who has an amazing support system to help you with your agent attraction.
Absolutely, man. All right. Well, that's it. Eric Golden, any final comments? You good? You anything you want to say to everyone as we head out?
Love you, brother.
I love you too, man. And I sure hope that whoever's hearing our voice, they give this a shot for 12 weeks, worth every penny. Love you, man. Love you guys listening. Eric, thanks, guys. And everyone have a beautiful Martin Luther King Day, because you got a dream, you're not lazy, and you're willing to do what it takes. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Bye for now. Okay, so here's the deal. We have incredible information, video content on my YouTube channel. Go over there and make sure you subscribe. And it's vital that you ring the bell. If you ring that bell every time I put out new content, it's actually going to notify you, and you can get the latest and greatest of what's happening at EXP. Now, don't forget to like me on Facebook so you can also get that content, and then follow me on Instagram. We're hitting everybody high, low, and in between. We're trying to get the information out there so you can build big businesses, revenue share organizations. So go to YouTube right now. Please subscribe and ring that bell. Like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram. We'll see you out there.